Hey everyone, so just wanted to do a quick video on this really cool VCR DVD combo that I found. It's a Sony brand, you can see, and yeah, it does DVD and then DVD rewritable, and then also has a VHS player. And as you can see, it says it does HDMI as well, and I have never seen a VHS player that has an HDMI out on it. So you can see I got it for $30 at the DI. Oh, let's see if I can get to focus there. Oh well, whatever. It says 30. Alright, let's turn this around. Let's see. Take a look at the outputs on the back. So yeah, so it's got component. Come on. So yeah, component, HDMI. It's got optical audio out, S-video, which is really cool as well, and then of course your regular composite. Now I've seen other brands where they'll have like S-video and component, but they only work for DVDs. They don't work for VHS. So I am very curious to see if not only S-video and component works on VHS, but also this HDMI, because that would be a really easy way to plug into a TV. And then over here we can see the label. So it's let's see, so it looks like the model number is a RDR-VX555. So anyway, although there is one thing, so let me turn it around again and I'll show you. Hold on, pause. Okay, here we are at the front of the unit again. So when I was testing it out at the DI, and see it turn it on here. Oh, and it also came with a movie inside. It's one of those dual-sided movies where one is full screen and one is widescreen, which is kind of cool. But anyway, so I have it switched to video here, which is VHS. Oh, and this little thing opens up as well. You can see all the controls it has here. If I can get my camera to focus. There we go. So yeah, it's like between DVD or video. And it's really, really dirty in here, so I'll probably clean it out with some isopropyl alcohol and some Q-tips. Yeah, and then it's got a analog input here on the front as well. Looks like a digital video input as well. And yeah, I think that this might copy VHS tapes to DVD as well. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, and it upscales to 1080i. That's kind of cool. So yeah, it's just a I've never seen a VHS player with HDMI on it. I really hope it works. But the one thing, let me turn on my TV back here. So this is the problem though, is when you put in a VHS tape, it doesn't actually accept it, and you can see it just ejects right away. By the way, this is S-video on this TV, so I think S-video is working for the VHS tapes. So yeah, I'm going to open this up and let's see if we can figure out what's going on inside. Okay, so there were 2 screws here on the side, and then there was 3 on the back here. So yeah, just Phillips head screwdrivers. Just pulls out. I can already tell it's really dusty right here. Let's see here. Just be careful not to. This shouldn't be connected to anything, but just be careful. There we go. Alright. There's the inside of it. Put that off to the side here. Alright. Well, it doesn't look as dirty. Oh, actually. Yeah, it actually is pretty dusty in here. Let's see if I can get a zoom up in here. Let's see here. Zoom in on this. So yeah, it's yeah, there is some dust around in here. Looks like it actually looks like this is pretty dirty as well. I can't remember what all the names are on these, but these levers have to be moving pretty well for the tape to go through. And then over here you can see as well this input and output board is really dirty, very dusty. But it actually overall doesn't look as dusty as the VHS VCR that I repaired. JVC VCR. So yeah, let's just see what happens when we put in a tape. See what actually is happening inside. Alright, so here we are. I took it outside because since it is pretty dusty, I might as well try to keep the dust outside. So here I have my air blower here. So we're just gonna blow off a bunch of this dust. So yeah, I'll go ahead and do this. Alright, so yeah, I got the VCR dusted out. Looking in here, I'm still seeing like some, looks like we might have to re-grease some of this stuff. I have some lithium based grease that works good on metal. Yeah, we'll probably clean off these heads too. You can see these reader heads on here, these little holes on this cylinder. Yeah, I'll probably clean those off too, and just get these other heads as well. This is probably for, I'm not entirely sure. It's either for audio or for racing. Let's see. I'm not sure. One of these is, anyway, just everywhere where the tape touches needs to be cleaned probably. But yeah, just from blowing it off though, that's what fixed, like I said before, that's what fixed this JVC VCR up here. It was just blowing it off. So yeah, let's go ahead and grab a tape to our famous Sound of Music. And let's just see if it now accepts the tape. Hopefully it does. Nope. Still not accepting the tape. Okay. So let's just kind of take a closer look here and see if we can see what's going on. Let's try pushing it again. So yeah, it's like it's not even taking, it's not lifting up the lid even to put the tape on. Now what it could be is that I know there's light sensors in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put this top back on. So let me pause the video real quick. Okay, there we go. So yeah, because there's light sensors in here that when it's dark, then it'll know like what position the tape's in or something like that. But anyway, where it's all light, then it may think that there's, I don't know, a lot of tape in there or something. So let's see what happens. Nope, yeah, it didn't appear to do anything. So now, before assuming that there's like a sensor that's broken or something, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and just clean everything manually. Alright, so now I have the VCR unplugged again, have the top taken off, and I think what we're going to do, I'm going to do this one by one and then like one thing at a time and then try the tape just to see exactly what was the problem here. Hopefully it's nothing too crazy, but what we're going to start with is I'm actually going to take off this old grease here. Let's actually just kind of see what it feels like. Yeah, there's still a little bit on there, but yeah, it looks like it's pretty dirty anyway. So yeah, because I wasn't seeing those heads move at all. So yeah, we're just gonna start with the simple stuff. Where did I put my rubbing alcohol? Oh, here it is. Yeah, so I have this 99% isopropyl alcohol. Yeah, it dries super quickly. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some on a Q-tip. Now there's some stuff in here you can clean with a Q-tip, but then when you get to this head, you do not want to clean this with a Q-tip because the little fibers, cotton fibers on this Q-tip can, if they get in those heads, it can ruin them. But yeah, for cleaning off this grease though, it'll be okay. So yeah, I'm just going to go along here and clean off all this old grease. Let's see that coming up pretty nicely. So anyway, I'm going to do that around here on this side, and then also on this side where these, whatever they're called, go. So yeah, pause the video. Alright, so yeah, I got most of that off, I think. It wasn't like super overly detailed on it, but yeah, you can see on this Q-tip just a bunch of that gunk that came off. And actually you can see on here, I think that this is where it's actually scratched away at the metal too, so yeah, I think that grease was kind of old, so yeah, let me go grab my new grease. Okay, here we are. So yeah, just some white lithium grease. So I'm going to take a new Q-tip, put some of that on it. As you can see there, just do a little bit. Don't want to do too much. Just enough to have these things go along here nice and smoothly. Yeah, this is a lot. This will be a lot smoother than it was before. So anyway, I'm just going to go along all these places where these little levers go, and yeah, put grease on it. Alright, so yeah, so you can see some of that new white grease on there. Yeah, you don't want to put too much on there because you don't want to get all gunked up, just enough to have these things flow. So yeah, we're basically applying the scientific process with this VCR. So now my hypothesis is that the arms need to be greased, and now the VCR will accept the tape. So we're just testing one thing at a time, just following the scientific process. So yeah, let's go ahead and put in the tape again and see if it works. Oh, I guess it would help if I plug in the VCR. Hold on. Alright, VCR is plugged in. Let's go ahead and put in the tape and see if this changed anything. Nope. Yeah, those are still not moving. So this is kind of making me think that it might be a mode switch. Mode switches are usually on the bottom of this whole contraption. Yeah, so I'd have to pull out the whole thing, although it looks like it won't be too hard on this VCR. Yeah, and then it's just finding where the mode switch is. Before we do that though, I'm going to go around and clean some of these heads. This video reading head especially looks dirty. So yeah, let me just try this. Actually, let's put this on too, just to block any light that could be messing up those sensors. Oh well, did you hear that? It made a different noise that time and didn't pop it out. Let's try that again, see if it'll do it. Let's just see what's going on here. Oh, it didn't make that noise that time. So maybe it is something with the sensors. I'm thinking, so the mode switch basically tells the VCR if the tape is inside or if it's outside the VCR, basically where the tape is or what mode it's in, if it's in fast forward, rewind, that kind of stuff. And sometimes those mode switches, the connectors can get kind of dirty. So anyway, hopefully we don't have to. I'm trying to test my easy hypotheses or hypotheses, however you say it, first. So yeah, let's go ahead and clean off some of these rollers and heads and stuff on here. And I think you can actually use a Q-tip on some of these ones that are not the video head. But for the video head, what you want to do is you want to take just some printer paper and then put rubbing alcohol on it, and then actually I'll just show you. Hold on one second. So yeah, here's my printer paper. I just ripped off a piece. And then what you want to do is just, oh, almost forgot I should unplug this VCR before I start touching stuff. Remember to do that. Alright, So yeah, VCR is unplugged. So yeah, what you want to do is you just put it up against this video head here, and then just kind of rotate the head around the paper with the touching, and that will clean off those heads. I can fill them too. You should be able to slightly fill them. You don't have to push really hard, but just kind of fill those heads going across your finger. Let's see. So yeah, you can see there's a bit of grime coming up there. Let's go ahead and turn it around and do it on a clean part of the paper. Just kind of go rubbing off all that dust and stuff. So yeah, still getting some stuff off there. So anyway, I'll just keep doing this until I don't really get anything off. Alright. Oh wow, that took a lot longer than I was expecting. So yeah, I've been cleaning this thing for about an hour. So many different little pieces of paper. I mean, look at all these little pieces of paper that I did for cleaning off that head, but now it's finally coming off clean when I'm going across it. At least mostly clean. And see, there's just it's basically clean. It's a lot better than it was before. But anyway, yeah, it was very, very dirty. So anyway, the good thing about this isopropyl alcohol is it dries super quickly, because you don't want to put tape on these when they're wet, because then the tape actually, from what I understand, actually doesn't touch this head. There's a slight bit of air between the head and the tape, and then there's just magnets in there that read the tape, something like that. But anyway, if there's water on there, then the tape can actually wrap around it, and your VCR will eat the tape. Yeah, let's go ahead and test our hypothesis again. This is kind of an unlikely hypothesis, in my opinion. Yeah, we'll test it anyway. So let's see if cleaning that video head ended up fixing the VCR. Turn on the TV here. Alright, let's see what happens. Interesting. So that noise, I noticed it was coming from over here. So this is more and more making me think that it's a video or a mode switch problem. Let's try covering up these sensors real quick just to double check. Yeah. Not quite. Alright. Well, I guess the next thing we'll do is I'm going to clean off these other rollers and heads on here. Yeah, and then we'll try it one more time, and then if it still doesn't work, then I'll probably do a little bit of research before I start taking it apart and pulling out the head. But yeah, I guess we'll just go from there. So anyway, I'm going to clean off these other heads real quick. Alright, so again, I think realistically you could probably use Q-tips on this. Oh, let me unplug the VCR real quick. Keep almost forgetting to do that. Alright, there we go. So yeah, you could probably use Q-tips, but I'm just going to use this printer paper just to be safe, since there's nothing that comes off of it. I might actually use Q-tips anyway, just because it's kind of easier to get around here with Q-tips. And these actually seem pretty clean, so there might not be too much to clean anyway. Yeah, even that head's coming off pretty clean, so yeah. It's not nearly as dirty as that video head was. So yeah, let's go on. Basically everywhere all along here where the tape would touch. Yeah, just kind of go and clean, and they actually are all coming off really clean. I got something on the back there. Yeah, this rubber thing. This one probably will come off a little bit dirty, I would think, because it's rubber, but yeah, it's actually not really coming off like that. So yeah, I think I actually am going to take just one of these Q-tips real quick. Just kind of go around it just a little bit more. So yeah, I'll just kind of just make sure these things are clean. Yeah, kind of getting the same results. Oh, actually, I am getting a little bit more gunk off. I don't know if that's coming up, but yeah, there actually is a little bit more gunk coming off with the Q-tip. I'll just kind of go around all this stuff. They actually really are pretty clean though. Yeah, really not that much on there. Oh, here's a little piece. Yeah, I'm really hoping that's just a cleaning thing that's going on here. I hope it's just like a sensor or something that's needs to be cleaned. Yeah, it's pretty clean. Oh, I forgot this one over here. Let's see, I'm gonna. Anyway, I'll pause the video while I clean the rest of this stuff. All right, kind of cleaned off that stuff. Yeah, it really wasn't that dirty, but there were a few places that could be used to be clean. All right, let's plug in the VCR again. All right, wait for it to initialize. Get that DVD drive over there. Let's put this. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, I'm thinking that we'll probably have to pull out this whole thing and clean off the mode switch. Let's just try this one more time. Yeah, all right. So yeah, I'm gonna do a little bit more research, but yeah, I'm thinking that's probably what's gonna have to happen. Okay, so here's I got the cassette tape unit out. Yeah, just kind of looking at the bottom here. Let's see if I can pick it up on a place that doesn't have grease on it. So yeah, just look on the bottom here. I don't really see any screws that are broken, or gears, I should say. Yeah, it is pretty dusty down here, but yeah, besides that, it looks pretty good, I think. Definitely not an expert on this. Now, one thing I did notice, though, put that back there for a second. So here's the mode switch. I already took this part off, but in here it does have some gunk in there, so I think my next hypothesis now is I'm going to clean this mode switch and then see if that helps with anything. So yeah, here we go. Okay, so yeah, I cleaned that off. There was quite a bit of grease in there, and I think some grease from up above fell down there. So there's this, you can see like this green grease. It's on the gears and stuff, and I saw that on the top there. So yeah, I don't think that was supposed to be in there. Maybe I cleaned out with some of that isopropyl alcohol again, and then I guess one thing that's important is you can see on this plastic piece, this little nub that comes up, that has to be lined up with this arrow. So then it'll go inside this piece right here in that hole. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, when you take this piece off, right here, I can't really point because I'm using both my hands, but basically it's on there pretty tight, but there's not, I mean, there are, like, these are the screws that I took off, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws holding this thing in there. But then after you take out those 6 screws, then you just kind of have to pull it up because there's just these connectors on here that are just pretty tightly fixed. So Anyway, and then putting it back on, you just put on these black plastic things, and yeah, just push it down. So I'm going to do that real quick. Alright, so see, I lined it up with those black plastic pieces on each side, so you know it's in the right position. And then I'm just going to push down so it goes in those connectors. You can see it's down all the way that's where one of the screws was. I don't think there was any connectors on this side. I'll just push it down just to be sure. I'm not going to put in the screws just quite yet, just because in case I have to take it off again. Oh, and then there's also this ribbon cable. I don't want to forget that. This is actually the only ribbon cable that's connected to the board down here. There we go. Nice, good connection there. Oh, and then I guess there's this thing. This is where the two smaller screws were. Just kind of fit that on there. There we go. Oh man, here's some more of that grease. Boy, that stuff just got everywhere. Alright. Yeah, I'm not going to screw that in either. I also took off this front plate to get some of the screws out, and this thing was connected. Yeah, I don't know if I'll have to put the plate back on. I guess I'll put it back on. It was pretty easy. One thing I like about this VCR is that there's no ribbon cables on this front plate. It's just literally just a piece of plastic, so that's nice. You don't have to worry about ribbon cables. So I'm going to put this piece of plastic back on. Alright, got that plastic piece back on. It just kind of pops on. This eject button is just kind of held in there, by the way, so I'll be careful that doesn't fall out. But yeah, I'm just going to push these buttons, make sure they all feel like they're making a good connection. Yep, okay, great. Alright, so now, almost forgot. This little cleaning head thing, so what this does is it pushes down against the video head, and supposedly it's supposed to clean it. But actually, and this is pretty typical with VCRs, it's actually kind of like falling apart. And so you can even see like down here, there's like pieces of it. So I think that might have been why the video head was so dirty. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to take this off, because since it's just causing more problems right now than... Oh yeah, look at that. I just grab it and it's just like literally just falling apart in my fingers. Yeah, let's definitely not keep that on there. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, it's not good. I'm just gonna literally just, I touched it and it just fell apart. Look at that. Yeah, and then I guess I can leave this plastic on. It's probably not doing any harm now that black thing's off, but looks like I could take it off if I wanted to. Looks like it's just clipped on there, so anyway, let's go ahead and try putting in the tape now and see what happens. So let's just plug in the VCR real quick. Where's the end of the power cable? Okay, here we go. Alright, VCR is plugged in. Yep, there's the lights turning on. Great. Alright, now let's grab our test what you call it? Test tape. Alright. Okay, let's hope this works. Nope. Alright, so it's still doing the exact same thing, so I guess that probably means it wasn't the mode switch. Let's try it just one more time. Oh, Interesting. So that time, wow, it didn't even grab the tape. I'm going to try putting in the screws first, and then I'm going to try it again. Alright, so I screwed down those screws. So now let's try putting this again. Did that just so we can test each hypothesis with the same testing methods, following the scientific method. Alright, let's try putting this in again. That's weird, it's like it's not... Yeah, it's like it's not grabbing it all the way. Interesting. Yeah, it's like I'm pushing it down. See, it's trying to grab it on there. This is interesting. Let's see if we can see what's going on here. Yeah, it's like it's not... See, it's pushing it, it's pulling it down. It's like it's not taking the tape with it. I push it in. See, it's like it's not quite going down all the way. So I'm going to kind of play with this for a second here. Okay, so look at this. I got it to actually grab the tape and start playing. So this is interesting. Let me show you what I did. Good, it's putting the tape back on. Okay, great. Nice. Oh, whoa, okay. Just grab the tape again when I push eject. Okay, so... Oh, it just turned off. Interesting. So it loaded the tape and then it turned off when I pushed eject. Alright, let's push eject again. Anyway, basically what I did is I unplugged the VCR. See, there's something broken in here where it's not... There's like something blocking it from either going in all the way or coming out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push eject, and then I'm going to unplug it when it gets to this position, and then I'm going to take it out. So, and unplug it. There we go. All right. So now this is a position where I think I can get it out. Let's see, I'll kind of play with this. But anyway, basically what I did is I got it, I pushed it, when the VCR was off, I pushed it in to where it was just barely sticking out, and then when I plugged it in, I just pushed it in a little bit more, and it was already far enough where then it was able to get down, and it went on the roll here. So anyway, I'm going to see if I can now get the tape out. Okay, so yeah, so I took off this plastic part, the front here, because yeah, this little door was not opening, not allowing the tape to go through. So anyway, so what I did to get it to load was I pushed it in, I guess just about right there. Here, I'll show you real quick. So, yeah, so it's unplugged right now. So now I'm going to plug it in. Oh, come on. Okay, so now let it turn on here. So you see, it just loads right in. And of course it's not playing. And I don't know which of these buttons is playing. Let's see, we gotta open this up and look. So this first one's play. Okay, so let's just push that. Oh, it's on disc mode. Okay, hold on. So DVD, video. So this one is... Oh no, this one is video. Okay, and then this one's play. All right. There we go. Yeah, so you can see it's playing now. Okay, and then eject is this button. There we go. See, that time it actually did eject because this door was not blocking it. So there's something strange going on with this door. In fact, I'm kind of curious now. What if we just try pushing it in just like this without the door on? Nope. See, it's going in kind of crooked. So there's still something wonky going on here. And then this door thing, I don't know how to figure that out too, but yeah, anyway. It does appear that the problem is not back here or underneath. It appears to be something with this loading mechanism, so look into that. Alright, so I think I figured out what the culprit is of this tape not going in smoothly. So what it is there's these two pieces of plastic here. So there's this one on the top, and then there's also this one down here on the side. So when I put the tape in, for whatever reason, you have to push the tape kind of hard to get past those two pieces of plastic. So first it hits that one on the top, and then once you get past that one on the top, then it hits the one on the bottom there, you see. And you have to push a little bit farther, and then it goes in all the way. So I'm not entirely sure how this happened. So yeah, you gotta see, you have to push it kind of hard to get past that first one, then even harder to get past the second one. So yeah, I'm wondering if this is kind of loose, because I'm noticing that when this mechanism is out farther, this piece, this is what holds the tape into place. Same with this one on the top. But when it's out farther, like if I hold it there, then it actually goes in smoothly, or at least smoother, and then you go back all the way. So I'm wondering if it's maybe this whole tape loader mechanism is just kind of loose. So I'm going to keep on playing around with it and see what I can figure out. Okay, so here is an update. It's been a few weeks, maybe even like a few months since I've worked on this. Just because I was working on other stuff, and yeah, I wasn't exactly sure what to do with this part. So this is now a new VCR drive unit, whatever it's called, and I actually pulled it out of this one. This is a similar model that I found used and bought for $2.50. And so yeah, and it looks like the VHS drive is like exactly the same. I was looking at it pretty closely on the bottom and top, and it looks exactly the same. So so here's the old one where it has this loose plastic thing where it wasn't accepting the tapes correctly. And so I put this in this very similar model. And this one looks like it hasn't been used like hardly at all. And then I took the drive out of that one and put it into this one that has the HDMI out. And so yeah, I'm hoping that this will now just work. So I'm going to try plugging it in. Oh, I guess I'll show you what the model is on this one. So it looks like it's an SLV D380P. Yeah, and this one isn't anything too special. It only has composite for the VHS, and then these are just for DVD, so component and coaxial audio. So yeah, this one really isn't that special. In fact, it doesn't even have an analog RF. I wonder if this one does. I don't remember. Oh, this one doesn't either. But yeah, as you can see, this one has a lot more interesting ports, and I think they all work for VHS. So, and also this DVD player, you can tell it's not as high as quality. In fact, this doesn't even open when I plugged it in. This one does though. That one seems to work. So anyway, let's go ahead and try plugging this in and see what happens. Okay, here we go. So I have it turned on. It's connected to the TV over here. So there we go. Okay. Alright, here's the moment of truth. Let's try putting in our VHS tape, which, oh boy, I don't know where I put it. Oh, here it is. Okay, Sound of Music. Let's see what happens. Let's see. There we go. So far, so good. Yeah, looks like it's working. Look at that. Let's see if we can get some sound. Let's change this to video. Yeah, look at that. All right. Sweet. Oh, that's good. I'll turn that down a little bit. It's a little loud. Well, there you go. There you have it. Looks like it's working. So I guess that was the solution. Just change out the whole VHS drive. And this is going through S-Video, by the way. I think the next thing I'll do is I'll put it all back together, and then I'll try hooking it up to my OLED TV with the HDMI port and see if that works. So yeah, S-Video is working, so that is great. Not many VHS players have S-Video on them, so, or if they do, then it only works for the DVD if it's like a dual unit. But anyway, very cool, very cool. All right, let's go ahead and pause this and hook it up to the OLED. Oh, and I almost forgot, before I put this all back together, I think I'm gonna, let's see, first let's unplug it, just because I'm gonna start touching stuff in there. Go, plug it, turn it off. All right, and then, so yeah, so this, if you remember, here's what's left of the old one that I pulled out from, this VHS drive, whatever thing. But yeah, as you can see, this one still has it in there. So I think I'm actually going to take that off too, because I would imagine this one's also kind of deteriorating. Let's see what kind of state it's in. Oh yeah, look at that, it just comes right off. It's like it might be slightly in better state than this other one that's just like completely disintegrated, but still. Yeah, this unit looks quite a bit cleaner than the other one as well. I really don't think it's been used very much. I actually bought it used from a university. So, yeah, anyway. So yeah, what I'm thinking is I'm gonna, I'll probably clean it though anyway, like kind of what I did with this other one. So I'll use the paper and the isopropyl alcohol and yeah, clean it all up, and then we'll test it on the OLED. Okay, so here is the OLED. This is a Sony A80CJ or A80J. It's basically the same thing. But yeah, let's go ahead and turn on the VCR. I have the VCR plugged directly into the OLED here. And, oh yeah, we'll have to. Okay, yeah, so. Okay, yeah, so it's showing the video. Let's see if we can get that to focus. Come on. Yeah, so it's showing video selected. For some reason my phone is, there we go. So yeah, so this is coming through HDMI. It's great. I've got this Jurassic Park VHS here. Let's go ahead and just see what happens when we put this in. I hope it's rewound. I always forget which side is rewound. Alright, so far so good. Yeah, there it is. Look at that. It's got the tracking thing and everything. Let's turn up the volume. Maybe there's no volume on this part. Yeah, this is cool. I wonder what resolution this is playing in. You can see some of the... So usually on a CRT, this information on the bottom wouldn't show up. That's probably for the closed caption. Let's let me turn off the lights so we can see this a bit better. Yeah, nice. Turn this up a tiny bit more. I'm actually not hearing any sound. It might be something to do with my AV receiver. Let's see if I turned off the AV receiver, so yeah, it should be on. So you can do audio system, but I don't want to do audio system. Although I guess we could. Let's see if it'll go through the AV system. Nope. So yeah, we should be getting sound, you'd think, right? Sound comes through the HDMI cable. Let's go back to TV speakers. Yeah, I don't know. Not sure why we're not getting sound, but anyway. But yeah, as far as VHS goes, now one thing is that I'm sure this is supposed to be a 4:3 aspect ratio, so let's see if we can switch that. I guess we could put the picture mode in cinema since this is a movie. Let's see here. Yes, let's do normal. There we go. Yeah, so there you go. There you have it. And this is actually one thing that OLED is really good at, because since the pixels on the right here, they turn completely off, and so it's just black, and so it's actually pretty nice for 4:3 content. Yeah, not sure why there's no sound though, but anyway, I actually have so on the back of the VCR there's also the composite out, and turn on the flash and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So on this particular OLED, there's a 3.5 millimeter jack here, where then you can feed it a composite signal with the analog inputs and stuff. You can see I have that here. All my cords are wired differently than what the OLED is expecting though. So the red is actually where the composite line goes into the OLED, and then I'm not sure which is right and left on audio, but anyway. Let's go ahead and, so let's switch over to AV, or I think they call it video on here. And just kind of compare the difference. So this is HDMI. Not sure what resolution's coming out of the VCR, but alright, let's see here. Let's go to input. So yeah, so here's video. Oh hey, the sound's working with the composite. Nice, let's fix the aspect ratio. Let's see here. Wide mode. So we want to do this on normal. There we go. Yeah, nice. It actually looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, just doing composite video. Let's switch back over to HDMI. Yeah, I don't know what resolution's coming out of here, but yeah, I just feel like it's not. I mean, it's never gonna look as good as, you know, like a Blu-ray or whatever. But I don't know. It just seems like there's something about the composite that just looks a tiny bit better. Well, maybe not. Actually, I'm seeing like some lines or it's not lines, but little dots and stuff, which I'm not necessarily seeing on the HDMI. Yeah, the HDMI I actually think does look a little bit better. So yeah, very nice. Yeah, I just need to figure out how to do the sound. Yeah, I wonder if there's a way to, let's see if there's a way to see what inputs, what resolution this is that's coming in. Because, yeah, I wonder if it's just outputting 480i over HDMI. I wish I had, I wish there was something on here that would tell you what resolution you're watching, but yeah, it looks good. Looks pretty good. So there you have it. Let me pause the video and see if I can figure out this sound thing. Alright, yeah, I'm not entirely sure how to fix the sound, but I did find something else that was interesting. So I have this, yeah, so on the remote there's actually this display button, so when you push that it tells you what signal is being piped in. So this VCR is actually outputting that 1080i. So yeah, so it is taking the 480i image and upscaling it to 1080i. So yeah, and then this TV's taking the 1080i and upscaling it to 4K, 2160p. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's too bad that there's I wish you could zoom in just a tiny bit to get rid of the caption information. But yeah, I'll kind of play around, because what I'm thinking is that, so back in the day when HDMI was pretty new and kind of replacing DVI, a lot of older TVs had HDMI plus left and right audio channels in. And so what I'm wondering is maybe the VCR is not sending audio data over the HDMI because it's configured right now to maybe do it either over the Toslink, over the or over the left and right audio channels, just the RCA jacks. And so yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna probably try to configure this remote to work with this Sony VCR, and then maybe we can fix the audio. Okay, yeah, I'm not sure. I tried programming this remote to work with this, and yeah, there are codes for like a DVD VHS combo unit from Sony, but since this one is a little different than the other ones, I assume that it's maybe a different code, and yeah, I don't know. Anyway, but I do have another idea. What we can do is let's actually hook this up to the HD CRT via component. Yeah, that'd be interesting. So yeah, let's see what that looks like. Alright, so this is a Sony Trinitron Vega. Model number is KD-34XBR960. Yeah, they're the best consumer HD CRT that Sony ever made. So yeah, let's go ahead and turn this on. This actually has an HDMI input as well, but we'll test components since we haven't tested that yet. Alright, let's go down here and turn on the VCR. I already put it underneath the Blu-ray player. We'll change the input here. Let's see here. It's the little input button. Here it is. Let's see here. Yep, that must be it. DVD. Alright, so now let's push play. Let's see here. There it is. Yep, there it is. Yeah, nice. Cool. Let's turn off the slide so we can see it better. Well, I can tell you one thing that the CRT definitely has over the OLED is that there's overscan on this TV, and so you don't see the closed captioning on the bottom. And look, the sound's working. as expected. Yeah. I think I like the screen better on the CRT. Yeah. Now, granted, the OLED is quite a bit bigger than the CRT, but yeah, there's just something. There's just something about it. I like the look on the CRT. And then we can switch the screen. We could put it on full if we want to, or we could zoom, I guess. Wide zoom, normal. Normal's the 4:3. Yeah. Pretty cool.
It's supposed to be 1080i going in, I assume 1080i anyway. I wonder if we can see what resolution is coming in here. Let's push the display button on this. It doesn't say what resolution is coming in. I assume it'd be 1080i, same as HDMI, but yeah, I guess we don't really know for sure. But anyway, this is cool. VHS player that has component out and HDMI out. Who would have thought? I'm glad we got it working. But anyway, thanks for watching, and yeah, I guess we'll see y'all later. Make sure you comment and subscribe to keep up to date with all the cool stuff testing over here. So anyway, talk to you later. Bye.